Welcome to my channel. Enjoy this video and subscribe my channel. Colt Johnson from 90 Day Fiancé is finally turning the page after years of chaos, making his comeback on 90 Day Hunt for Love while also working to mend his fractured relationship with his mom, Debbie Johnson. On 90 Day Diaries, Colt was introduced as a mild-mannered software engineer from Las Vegas in Season 6, where his whirlwind marriage to Brazilian partner Larissa Lima crashed and burned within a year. Fueled by Larissa's 3 arrests and Colt's famously tight bond with his over-involved mother, Debbie used to cook for Colt, do his laundry, and even drop him off and pick him up from work. Colt used to describe himself as a mommy's boy. Debbie even played a part in Colt's breakup with Jess Caroline, which created tension between him and Vanessa Guerra. After they went their separate ways, Debbie began living temporarily in Port Coquitlam, British Columbia, Canada, with her boyfriend, Tony Starcevich. She is still trying to get her permanent residency. Meanwhile, Colt is ready to start dating again following his divorce from Vanessa in 2024 and recovery from his accident. Colt and his mother had lived together all his life. Even though Debbie had always been overbearing, she had been with Colt through the ups and downs of his life. However, they had a falling out 2 years ago at the Single Life Tell-All. Colt was fed up, and as a result, Debbie and Colt stopped talking. It was also the last time that he saw her. Colt had finally realized that his relationship with his mother was toxic. He felt Debbie was always interfering or meddling in his life. When Colt confronted Debbie at the tell-all, it was to talk to her about how she had freaked out when he told her he and Vanessa were moving out. Colt had asked Debbie to be more independent, causing Debbie to burst into tears while telling Colt she was trying to get away from him. Nonetheless, Colt accused Debbie of faking her emotions and guilt-tripping him. Colt even disapproved of Debbie's relationship with Tony. Plus, he claimed he refused to call Debbie his mother anymore. It was the breaking point of Colt's relationship with his mom, whom he once adored. Colt was living in Morgan, Utah. On episode 6 of 90 Day Diaries, he revealed he had left Utah 2 weeks earlier to live with his mother's brother, John, on his farm. He spoke about how his life had been hard recently and needed a fresh start. Colt shared that he liked being a farmer. Colt's uncle appreciated how he was reclaiming his life. He had gone through a divorce, had moved, and had also lost his job. John was glad he was in Utah when he could have gone to Canada. Colt told his uncle that his mother didn't even know where he was. Colt had been texting Debbie here and there, but he hadn't told her directly that he and Vanessa had split. John suggested that Colt go to Canada to see Debbie. "You should take a week, 2 weeks, whatever," John advised Colt, although he asked his nephew to get his chores done before he left. Colt told the cameras that he understood where his uncle was coming from, but John didn't quite understand Colt's relationship with his mother. In episode 7, Colt revealed he was in Canada. He was on his way to see his mother for the first time in 2 years. Colt had come to realize that he wanted Debbie in his life. However, he was afraid that Debbie and he were going to start fighting again and open up old conflicts and wounds that would push them further apart. However, he saw it as a time of exploration and looked forward to getting back together with his mother. Debbie had decided to be very careful around Colt. She wondered if Colt was in some kind of trouble for him to come to Canada to see her after 2 years of not being in contact. When Colt met Debbie at the airport, they hugged as if they'd never been apart. Colt was to stay with Debbie and Tony at their house. The next morning, Colt told Debbie he and Vanessa were divorced and that he was living in Utah with his uncle John. Debbie didn't react the way Colt expected her to when he told her about Vanessa and how he moved to Utah. Nonetheless, Debbie was happy Colt had decided to go live with John. Colt had expected Debbie to be hurt or to feel like he should have gone to her instead. However, Colt felt like a burden had been lifted off his chest. He didn't know why he didn't do it sooner. Debbie and Tony suggested that Colt should take some time for himself and figure out what he needed to do next. Colt made the best out of his Canada visit as he began spending more and more time with his mother and her boyfriend. In September 2024, 90 Day Fiancé Update shared clips of Colt with the couple, likely taken from Colt's Instagram stories. The video had some sweet moments of Debbie and Tony showing Colt around town by taking him shopping at a local market. Colt seemed very happy to have reunited with his mother. It must have been hard for him to be separated from the person he loved so much. Interestingly, in May, Shabuti posted a video showing Debbie and her son, Colt, at the Saturday market in Portland, Oregon. The slow-motion video captured Debbie and Colt walking through the market, with her using a mobility scooter. Another picture posted by Shabuti featured Tony posing for a photo with Debbie and Colt, indicating he had also accompanied them on their trip to Portland. It's not known if Portland is where Debbie is living now with Tony and Colt, but it appears fans won't wait much longer to find out. Considering Colt is making his 90-day